Madoka Magica has long been known as one of those anime that completely shattered their viewers' expectations. On the surface, it looks like sweet and cheerful magical girl story, cute visuals, adorable character designs, and a light, harmless atmosphere. But the moment you actually start watching it, all of that falls apart. Madoka Magica delivers a story filled with philosophical themes, dark undertones, and shocking plot twists, wrapped in a visual style that feels strange yet captivating. Talking about it now, this kind of twist might not feel too surprising anymore. Many anime that came after tried to replicate Madoka Magica's formula, pairing a sugary appearance with a deeply dark narrative. But at the time, what this anime did felt genuinely revolutionary. I personally feel lucky that I got to watch Madoka Magica without knowing anything about it. The only reason I even gave it a chance back then was because one of its songs was performed by Calafina, the vocal group I admire for their work in Karano Kyokai, Fate, and several other anime. And the result, just like most viewers, I was completely stunned by what I found. I had a small hunch that the story might have a darker tone, but the anime turned out to be far more grim than I've ever expected. Packed with unpredictable twists, incredible music, and an ending that's so powerful, it still sticks with me today. All of that made me certain Madoka Magica is one of the best anime I've ever watched. Much like Madoka Magica, Made in Abyss also uses cute chibi-style character designs, an artistic choice that on one hand can make it harder to appeal to general audiences, but on the other hand cleverly tricks viewers to assume it's just a light, kid-friendly adventure anime. From its visual alone, Made in Abyss looks like a warm and magical story, a beautiful world waiting to be explored. But as the story progresses, that impression slowly crumbles. The world that once looked enchanting turns into something brutal, painful, and often terrifying. The deeper characters descends into the abyss, the more the genre itself shifts. What starts out as an innocent-looking fantasy adventure gradually transforms into a dark, suffocating survival horror. I felt this shift especially strong in Season 2. The second season carries so much more heavier themes, human value, sacrifice, and the thin line between desire and suffering. Every characters come with their own tragic story, deepening our understanding of what it truly means to survive in the world this cruel. Its emotional scenes hit harder than in the first season. The tone is darker, the story cuts deeper, and each episode leaves a tightness in your chest that's hard to put into words. Season 2 of Made in Abyss was so impactful to me that after finishing it, I needed a long time before I could genuinely enjoy any other anime again. When Mob Psycho 100 first came out, I was one of those people who struggled to truly connect with it. The first thing that made me hesitate was its visual. The art style and the character designs felt too strange, too unconventional. On top of that, Mob Psycho 100 was living in the shadow of One Punch Man Season 1, which was famous for its incredible animation quality. A lot of people compared the two, especially since both series came from the same author. Without realizing it, I came in with the wrong expectations. I expected to feel the same excitement I got from watching One Punch Man, a visually stunning experience that grabbed me from the start. But Mob Psycho 100 felt very different. Back then, I wasn't used to its visual style, and eventually I gave up halfway through and decided to drop it. But time passed and I decided to give it a second chance. With a more open mindset, I started watching Mob Psycho 100 again from the beginning and eventually made it all the way to the final season in 2023. And that was when everything changed for me. I began to realize just how deep and emotional this story truly is, because at first I thought it was just going to be a gag anime. Honestly, I can even say that I like Mob Psycho 100 more over One Punch Man. It's not just because One Punch Man adaptation's quality went downhill, but because Mob Psycho 100 offers something much more meaningful than what I got from One Punch Man. It's not just an action anime filled with humor and superpowers. It's a story about growth, identity, and the search for what truly matters in life. At first, it might be hard to accept because it's unusual look, but behind that lies a warmth and emotional depth that's truly extraordinary. And once I finally understood that, I realized Mob Psycho 100 is one of the most beautiful anime I've ever watched. At first glance, two things might come to mind when you look at Ping Pong the animation. First, it looks like a sports anime. Second, it might even seem like a comedy because its unique art style. And yes, both elements are there, but only as small pieces of something much deeper. Ping Pong the animation isn't just about sports, it completely transcends that genre. While most sports anime focus on winning, teamwork, or adrenaline-pumping matches, Ping Pong the animation takes a far more human and reflective direction. These anime explore failure, identity, and the meaning behind the word talent. Its characters aren't just competing at ping pong table, they're fighting themselves, their fears, their egos, and the expectations they can never seem to fully meet. Visually, Masaki Uesa's directions makes this anime truly stand out. The animation style is rough and to some people might seem even ugly. But that's where its beauty lies. The imperfections feels honest, raw, and full of expressions. Ping Pong animation feels like a work that doesn't try to look perfect. And it's precisely because of that it managed to touch the heart and change the perspective of those who watch it. And I'm one of those people, deeply moved by this anime and convinced that it's one of the best ever made. The art style of Ranking of Kings really does look like something made for children. The main character is small, innocent, and expressive, which might make some people assume it's just a simple, light-hearted show. But behind its cute and simple visuals lies a story that's far more mature, painful, and emotionally powerful. Personally, I really love the visual style used here. There's something about it that reminds me of childhood storybook illustrations, colorful and warm, yet carrying a mysterious atmosphere that hints at something darker beneath the surface. And Ranking of Kings blends those two feelings beautifully. The animation is handled by Witch Studio, known for major works like Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga. The visuals are gorgeous, every movement, expressions, and shot feels crafted with immense care. Anime with a style and atmosphere like this is incredibly rare in today's industry. That's why I feel lucky to have experienced something this unique, the kind of experience that might only come once in a lifetime. The art style and character designs of Odd Taxi aren't exactly the kind that immediately catch the eye. The visuals are simple, some might even say plain, and it can be hard for them to grab people's attention. On top of that, every character is portrayed as an anthropomorphic animal, something quite uncommon compared to most other anime. Sure, there were anime featuring animal characters before Odd Taxi, but even among those, Odd Taxi designs are some of the most simplest and least flashy. Yet behind that lies incredibly complex and stunning story. Odd Taxi delivers a mature, tightly woven narrative full of mystery, depth, and surprisingly human emotion. Every tiny details connect beautifully, forming a solid and satisfying web of storytelling. The dialogue is exceptionally well written, meaningful, realistic, and full of life. Every conversation carries weight, making it nearly impossible for me to look away while watching. Odd Taxi is not anime you can underestimate just because it looks simple. In fact, it's through that simplicity it managed to deliver one of the strongest and most memorable stories I've ever seen.